if you don't know, we have the Ducati MotoGP superstar, Nicky Hayden. Round of applause, everybody. Nicky Hayden. Hey Nick, thanks for coming out. You know, this is your first time at our Long Beach show. What do you think of coming to this show? I mean, you've been here for like an hour or so.
No, I've been here longer than that. We did an event last night with Ducati in Hollywood and it was pretty good. They know how to put on a little party, and I've been here most of the afternoon. So it's my first time to Long Beach, and I was in Bologna last week, and they said I could choose. I could either go to New York next month or come to this one. And I thought, well, I've been to New York last year, so you know, there's worse places to come to than the LBC, so come see everybody here. I got a lot of fans, a lot of Ducati supporters in Southern California, so it's nice to come see everybody and hang out, see some stuff.
All right, cool. Now, for the 2 or 3 people out there who don't know, just give us a little background on your racing before you got to MotoGP. You know, what got you to MotoGP?
Yeah, well, my dad used to race and just started like so many kids, flat track, and I have 2 brothers that race. Both of them are now factory Suzuki, riding Suzukis in America, and just kind of was in our blood. My sisters raced and just come up through dirt track, and when I was 16, I went professional and was road racing, and then I won the AMA Super Sport title in '99, and then in 2002 I became the youngest ever American Superbike champion. And then from there, got an opportunity to go to MotoGP and took it, and been hanging on ever since.
Yeah, that's quite a different. It was a whole different league, wasn't it? Like your first year in MotoGP, besides the bike, what was like the biggest difference? Like, what was the thing that made you say, "Man, Toto, I'm not in Kentucky no more"? You know,
man, where do I start? You know, it's a whole different world out there. There's so much more to the world than we think than here. You know, there's so many other countries and places. And it's been an awesome experience. That first year certainly wasn't easy. You know, I went from being 21 years old, living in Kentucky, to traveling around the world. So it was a big step for me. And I'm a bit of close with my brothers. That was a big change to not share a room with my brother until I was already winning Superbike races. And still shared a room with him, so that was a big change. And the talent, you know, I mean, the boys don't play over there. You know, it's definitely a big step. You know, I was in America racing with good riders, but not the level guys the MotoGP were. So, man, it was all, but I've enjoyed it, and it's been a good ride. And you know, I've got a really good bike now and a really good team, and hopefully still got some good years ahead of me.
Oh, good. Yeah, they make you do a lot more PR in MotoGP, don't they, for the factories? Do you go to a lot of shows like this in Europe?
Yeah, we do a bit. I mean, there's certainly the Milan show's a big one, a couple of them, and you know, riding for Marlboro's our main sponsor, so we're you know, do a lot of events for them. But you know, it's all part of it. You know, it's a business some days, but it's nice to come be able to see the fans outside of a race weekend. You know, sometimes during race weekend we have autograph signings and stuff, and truthfully, sometimes they talk to you, but you really don't hear. You know, your mind is on the race, and it's more just signing and going. But today, you know, it's more laid back and got a chance to chat with some people, and a lot of faces I see at Laguna, so I recognize the faces.
Cool, yeah. And we got a lot of, you can tell we got a lot of race fans out here today. I mean, we got a big line of people. So yeah, we love our racing here in America too.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. Now, as for the racing in MotoGP, like, what's the big difference you think between racing MotoGP and racing, say, Superbikes? Like, is it like the starts are different? Is it how you make passes are so different? Or is it the riders just ride different? What's like the big difference in racing?
I mean, really, the tracks are a lot different. That's one thing, certainly. The tracks, but at the end of the day, they're all motorcycles, so you got to ride them and get them around. I say the talent, the field is really deep, and it's the best riders on the best tracks, on the best bikes in the world. So that's why MotoGP is what it is. It's definitely no cupcake sport. Boys are out for blood, but that's why we love it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Now, you guys who ride for a living, it's your job. You're on a bike all the time. You know, what gets you excited? What's like the most exciting thing for you when you're out on the track? You know, going for it. What, like, is it the corner entries? Is it like how fast you go through the corner? Is it, you know, getting hooked up, coming out of the corner? That's like really a buzz, or?
I mean, I love the riding. The riding's awesome, but really I like competing and, you know, lining up, going toe to toe with the dude next to you. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, the riding's awesome, and get to ride those bikes is a great privilege. But I like the competition. That's definitely the part that you know, really keeps you up at night and really the exciting part.
Yeah, cool. Now about the bike more specifically, the Ducati. Every bike does things a little differently. What's something about the Ducati MotoGP bike that you really love? Like you're on the bike, you know that this bike doesn't do this better than everybody else, and I got it on this.
You know, the Ducati's a special bike. It's a special brand, and everybody knows that. And the bike is really unique. I mean, you know, you got to ride it a different way, but when you find it in the sweet spot, it's I believe as good as any bike out there. I would say the best part's the engine. We got a really strong engine and actually really smooth off the bottom. We're the only bike with carbon fiber chassis, and it's just something special to ride for that team. The passion, and I mean, from the guys who cook the pasta to the tire changers to the engine builders. I mean, they bleed for Ducati, and you can feel it when you're in that garage, and it's really it's special.
Oh, I bet it is. Now, in terms of special, this past year, what was probably the most special or your favorite race that you ran? Like from your perspective, what was your favorite race this past year?
My favorite race, I would have to say, was Aragon. A race I got on the podium. I had a pretty good battle with Lorenzo, who went on to be the world champ, and you know, was able to pass him the last lap, steal the podium. So that certainly had to be the highlight. Had a couple other good runs, but was missing that last little bit to really be dangerous. So you know, we did a big step from the first year on my Ducati last year, from 13th to 7th, and we need to do one more next year and give them trouble.
That's right, that's right. Now, looking ahead to 2 more years, I think that's when they bring the 1000s back?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And you're looking forward to that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, certainly, I think the 1000s will be a different change.
Yeah.
And hopefully suit my style a little bit better, but for now, 2011's where our focus is. We'll worry about 2012 later, but I do have a 2-year deal with Ducati, and you know, they'll be running those bikes on the dyno soon and be testing those. So it's the last year for 800, and you know, I've had some podiums, some pole positions and front rows and stuff, but I hadn't won a race on the 800, so I'm desperate to bag one or bag a couple this year.
Yeah, nice. Now, one thing that's been a hot topic the past few years is all the electronics in the bikes, the electronic rider aids. Would you like to see MotoGP do away with it completely, or just you and your wrist, or would you like having some there, for safety, or do you think some electronics is good to have, or do you?
You know, that's a touchy subject. You know, everybody, if it were just that easy, we'd have it solved. But I mean, these bikes without any electronics would be really difficult. But on the other hand, you know, I think the electronics have gotten taken too far, and now they play too big a part. I mean, the rider and the team doesn't have enough control. It's down to electronics. But how they can police it, how they can manage it, you know, right now we don't have a way. So, you know, it's not so bad. I mean, the electronics in some ways got some good points, but if they could find a way to limit it, I think it would be better racing and better show for the fans.
Yeah, it's definitely more exciting, but you know, it's also really impressive to see what kind of lap times you guys throw down. How much faster can you get? But now, looking ahead and way into the future. Now, I mean, you're still pretty young. You're not the youngest kid in the paddock anymore. But have you thought about like post-career? Like you and your brothers talked about having like the Hayden race team, like you guys are a school, or you're gonna work at your dad's car lot. What do you think?
Break leaves.
Yeah.
You know, I've really never had a real plan B. I mean, you know, since I was a little kid, man, this was my one thing I wanted to do, and you know, pretty much went all in to make it happen, and was able to be successful. But certainly, I know I can't race forever, but I love the sport. It's in me, and I would say, you know, when it is time to come home, I would definitely love to help kids, help stay involved, do something. I mean, I've spent my whole life in racing. I don't ever see I would leave it. Hopefully this be my, you know, have something, find me a job. Maybe I'll come back to the progressive international motorcycle shows and, you know, help set up the inventory or something.
Right. You know, we're always hiring. One last question.
I'm going to hold you to that now. So if I come knocking on your door,
all right.
tell him I'm at lunch.
One other style of racing. I mean, you know, you can't do it now because you're pretty busy with MotoGP, but how important is that mile dirt track win you could get? Do you really want to get that still? Are you looking to get that maybe someday?
Oh yeah, I hadn't forgot about that mile for sure. I mean, there's only, I think, 5 guys ever part of the Grand Slam club, and to me that still means a lot. You know, I've won a couple short tracks, a couple GTs, half mile, and I almost here in California. Parker beat me to the line at Del Mar by nothing, and still haunts me. You know, I know you're not supposed to have regrets, but that race still keeps me up at night like you wouldn't believe. So that dream isn't finished though. I definitely want to try and make another crack at that.
Yeah. Well, cool to hear. All right, dude. I could talk to you all night, but I know you gotta catch a plane, fly back to OWB. So we're gonna let you go.
Yeah, home sounds pretty good. It's time to get home for the holidays.
That's right.
For more than about 3 days, so I'm looking forward to going back to my people and hanging out, see if Santa's got anything for me.
Yeah. Awesome. So rest up, and we look forward to seeing you next year on the track.
Yeah.
All right. Give you a big hand. 2006 World Champion, driving the CP Moto 50 star, Nick Hayden.